So, look at all these bright, breezy faces. Good morning, everyone. How you guys all doing? Yeah? Anyone here excited? Yeah. The stage hypnotist is going, yeah, I know the one. Actually, this is the whole stage hypnosis row here. What's going on here? I'm suddenly, we had a stage hypnosis training this year in Vegas, and like I see a whole bunch of you in the room, and I'm a little scared now. Someone might take over the stage. It's like, what do I do? Huh?
Look at your hand.
Yeah, this is dangerous when there's actually hypnotists in the room when I'm actually teaching, because then at the Vegas event, doing one of the exercises, one of the guys comes up, and he's actually he's posted on a suggestion to go up and hypnotize the trainer. So I'm sitting there going like, he's going like this, I'm going like this, and we're both falling in trance, and it was very, very embarrassing. So it sounds like we're on to a rock and roll start already. So let me formally say welcome to everyone. Welcome to, what town are we in today? I think we're in Los Angeles, isn't that right? Yeah, LA. I think this is a great place to do what we're about to do over the next few days. It's a great place for it. Why? LA is a kind of like a social place. People like the whole connecting and networking. They never know who's going to be able to help them out, and I don't know, whatever. But the point is, it's a very social sort of city, and the things that we'll be doing here are very social kind of skills. Does that make sense to you guys? And there are a couple of expectations I want to take you guys with you, which is, first of all, the stuff that we're doing here, it should be practical. You should be able to do it in public without embarrassment and without getting caught. If you do any hypno weirdness like, and now when are you sleeping deeply, whilst they're writing out a ticket for your car, I will disavow any knowledge of you. Exactly. So what we're looking for here is, the elegance in conversation hypnosis for me comes from the subtlety, right? Now, the problem with subtlety is, if you're too subtle, nobody gets it, right? And if you're unsubtle, then everyone gets it and they don't like it. So it's a question of finding that perfect balance between. Now, the beautiful thing is, every one of you knows how to do this already because you've had at least one conversation in which it's worked, right? You've really had at least one conversation where you felt yourself clicking or connecting with another person, have you not? Where it seemed like everyone else in the room just sort of drifted away, you had your private bubble, and you talked about whatever it is that you talked about. Everyone had at least one conversation like that? Once, yeah. So you have the capacity, you can recognize it when it happens, and you've done it before. The point of this training is not necessarily to teach you anything new as such, which is kind of weird because you paid a lot of money to be here. It's more to get you back to that place consistently, whereas in the past you may have gotten there accidentally. Does that kind of make sense to you guys? Now, I had a chat with a whole bunch of you guys earlier on as you were registering, and there's a question that's come up a lot of times, which is, finally, why did it take you 3 years, 4 years to go and put on this course? And the answer is, it's very simple. There's a couple of reasons. Number one, the Power of Conversation Hypnosis, the home study course, was what launched street hypnosis. It's what made us famous. It's our flagship course. It's still our best-selling course. And I wanted to teach this course, believe it or not, really from the first day. The problem we had was, number one, it's a 10-day course. I didn't want to just give you like a 2-day bit. I tried recently, actually, to teach the essence of conversation hypnosis in a day, and I just blew a lot of fuses. There are a lot of little bits that have to get involved. Otherwise, people go the inelegant route, which is so obvious and crass, or they become ineffective, and either way, it's just not very useful. So I needed extra time to get you to the point where you can do this stuff subtly, and it's easy, it's natural enough to do it that way. Does that make sense? And that means we need a certain momentum. There's a lot of you people in the room, and we need a certain amount of people because you need to talk to different kinds of people. If you only have 3 people to work with, well, you're going to get very used to a certain style, and that's not very useful to you. The other reason, of course, is because we've already got the home study course, and I thought, well, what's the point of doing it all over again if just listen to the tapes? What's wrong with you? Just listen to the tapes, it's fine. So what I wanted to do is teach similar material. There's going to be a whole bunch of new stuff we're going to do here as well. But I want to teach similar material in a very different way. so that, how many of you, just out of curiosity, have the home study course ready, The Power of Conversation Hypnosis? That's most of you, that's good. So, I don't want to necessarily bore you and say, oh, here's tape 1. I'll press play, I'll come back in an hour, okay? Everyone got that? Okay, here's tape 2, I'll come back in another hour. I mean, that would be kind of pointless, and you'd probably feel cheated, quite rightly so, if that's what we did. So I want to teach the same core ideas, principles, in a very different way. So sometimes it won't even look like the same thing. And in that way, by getting different angles on the same kind of concept, you'll begin to understand it more clearly. Does that make sense to you guys? So even if you've listened to it thoroughly, hopefully you'll see, oh, I recognize this, but it's not the way I did it, or it's not the way I've seen it or I've thought about it before. That's kind of my aim for you guys over the next few days. The final thing we want to be doing here is, this is the Conversation Hypnosis Mastery course, right? For me, mastery is all about being able to do stuff, not talk about stuff. So I'm going to strip out as much of the theory as I can, and I'm going to give you enough to get your intellects engaged in doing the right things and getting the results. In other words, this is all about what you do. This is how you behave. It's how you apply the skills. And if you want to have some more of the theories or some more insights into some of the ideas that we started developing here and how to take it further, that's really what the audio CDs are for. They'll be complements to each other. Because I don't want to waste your time talking about ideas here that we won't necessarily put into practice. I'd rather give you a foundation, so when you hear another idea, you go, oh, I get it. I can adapt what I can already do and add that piece in there too. Does that kind of make sense to you guys? Because that way it's much more useful to you. It's a way of you taking these skills and actually using them, and then having this other stuff around the edges that you can add, kind of like, I think for kids at the moment, Pokemon's this big thing. You can kind of add little extra bits on top of each other, and you have your base onto which you add whatever it is you want. So you can take it whatever direction you want to take it in. Does that make sense to you guys? So there's a couple of expectations I'd like you guys to have over the course of our 10 days together. The first one is, this is not a therapy training, right? And I mean that in both senses of the word. This is not necessarily an opportunity for you guys to say, oh, I've had a really terrible childhood, please help me, right? This is not an opportunity to get free therapy. This is not what we're doing here. You can expect a lot of personal change to occur. It's just the nature of what we do. But it's not necessary that we'll be sitting up here and saying, let me show you how greatly I fix people, because it's not the purpose of what we're doing here. On the flip side, this is also not a hypnotherapy training. So how many people here are hypnotherapists? Excellent, it's a nice mix. I teach hypnotherapy. I love hypnotherapy. I think it's a fantastic force for good in the world. And what you'll learn here will help enhance whatever it is you do anyways in terms of your natural practice. But we're not certifying hypnotherapists here because that requires a specific skill, a specific focus, and certain ideas and concepts that we really won't be touching on just because it would be beyond the scope of what we're doing here. I mean, we could happily sit here for 6 months and just get it all done, but I don't think most of you have 6 months to just sit down in a room in LA, no matter how nice it is, and do that. Does that make sense? So if you have some questions about how to apply a particular idea or principle or something you've just done to hypnotherapy, if I can give you a quick answer, I will happily do so, so feel free to ask it. And if it's more complex, is it okay if I just tell you, that's more complex, maybe you can kind of corner me during a break or something, and I'll do my best to elaborate on it, but it's really beyond the scope of what we're doing here. Is that okay with you guys? Is that a fair agreement to make? And that way we can keep rolling, because believe it or not, I have a lot of stuff I want to put into the next 10 days, and I'd rather not keep any of it out, right? The other side of, in terms of what we're doing here, everyone here is an adult, right? We have no toddlers in the room, or at least people with emotional maturity of a 5-year-old. Yeah, that's just part of marriage, isn't it? So the reason I say this is an adult learning environment, and that means you guys, you do what you need to do to get the best out of this training. My job is to facilitate that, to make it as easy as possible, to answer your questions, prepare experiences for you, and put them together in such a way that it all makes sense at the end of the day, or actually, not necessarily the end of the day. Sometimes it'll be a few days before it makes sense. But in terms of how you get the most out of it, that's really something that you know in terms of personal style. Are you a note taker? Take notes, right? Are you more kind of absorbing the moment? By all means, absorb the moment. If you are, need to go back to the room and have a little stretch because you've been sitting down for too long, by all means, stand up and stretch. If you need to get a glass of water, there's lots of water in the back of the room, help yourself. If you want to buy any product, fine. Knock yourself out, go to the back of the room, beat the rush. The point here, guys, is do what you need to do to make this the best learning environment for yourselves. Does that make sense? But please do it in a way that's respectful of other people. If your best way of learning is to stand up on stage here and talk to everyone, then it's going to be like, hello, it's very nice of you, but can I teach now? So, we need to make sure that we don't necessarily interfere with other people's learning styles as well. But I think it's pretty straightforward that way. So take care of yourselves, do what you need to do, please don't be shy about it. I quite like having people just hang around the back or having a drink and that sort of stuff. I'm very relaxed about those sort of things. As long as you're respectful of other people, you come in and go out quietly if you need to go out. You don't suddenly get on your cell phone and start shouting in the back of the room, that sort of thing, right? Speaking of cell phones, does anyone have one of these weird and strange futuristic gadgets? Yes? Could I ask you, even if you've already turned it off, to check it, to pull it out and look at it and press buttons to check what status it's in? Because sometimes our minds have this way of telling us something's happened that hasn't. And it makes the training just much more easy. Airplane mode is good. In terms of, again, some people's learning styles, they like to have a manual, something they can flick through and have a look at and so on. This is a very kind of cutting-edge course in the sense of I've rearranged all the things and put them in different orders and so on. The upshot is there is actually no manual yet. What you will have is by the end of the week, I'm going to give you my actual lecture notes. In other words, the very things I use to keep myself on track in terms of what I want to teach you. They are basic notes. They should remind you of the highlights of the experiences you've had. So if you particularly like an exercise or an idea really strikes you that you want to remember it and so on, I strongly encourage you to write it down. The notes might be enough for you when you get them, and you may as well just capture it on your own as well. If you haven't brought anything to write with, we have pens and papers at the back there. We've got some pads. We've got lots of pens. So there's lots of resources there for you guys. There's no reason why you should miss out on anything. Everyone cool with the general learning and training environment thing? Timings. We'll start at 9 a.m. each day, so I always recommend that people turn up a bit early, 8:30 and so on. The doors usually open around 8:45, something like that. I strongly recommend that you take your skills and you practice with the people in this group. Even if the doors are closed, you'll notice we have a nice foyer outside with nice comfy seats and sofas and so on. You can grab your coffee, sit there, chat, have a conversation. Need I say any more? It's a great opportunity for you guys to start get warmed up into the spirit of what we're doing here. Use your time here as best you can. If I was in your shoes, then I would take every moment that I have here and invest it in increasing my skills. Because the more you do that, the easier the next set of skills comes. And we're going to do a lot of layering here, right? Conversational hypnosis can look complex because there's lots of little things that you do. But let's put it this way. Anyone walk down the street? Have you got the capability of walking on the street? Is that something that you're physically capable of? Do you have any idea how complex that is as an act? If anyone here, just as a question sometimes that happens, anyone here in robotics? No? If you ever have a friend that's in robotics or you want to go on YouTube and find out, it is incredibly difficult to create a robot that walks because there's a lot of things going on, and yet you do it without thinking about it. So we want to make sure that each of the little skills in conversational hypnosis becomes as automatic as the skills that you required for walking, the balancing point, the different muscle groups that are being engaged, the counter engagement, the vision, all those things get pulled in together into something that's automatic to you now. Conversational hypnosis will become automatic to you when all the pieces it's made out of have been, shall we say, practiced to the point that you don't have to think about them anymore. Does that make sense? So if you want to leave as a true master, then take the time you have here to really practice the skills so they are automatic. Otherwise, you can leave as an apprentice master who just has to do more practice and then he gets there. Make sense? So we're working from 9 a.m. till about 5 p.m. is the official timing. Sometimes I'm going to reserve the right to run over a little bit till about 5:30, something like that. if we need to spend a little bit more time to finish something off, as I say, I'd rather give you a little extra and make sure that we finish all the pieces than that you miss out on something. So if you have any other engagements, please build that into your time. So either you have an extra half hour of practice time, or another half hour to chill and let your mind, settle down. Or you use that half hour in here whilst we're doing stuff here, and you'll still make your appointments at the right time. Make sense? As we talked about a moment ago, this is the Conversational Hypnosis Mastery Program. And the things I want to focus on here is something which really where the name street hypnosis came from before street hypnosis became what now street hypnosis is, which is hypnotizing people on the streets by making their hands stick to fridges and God knows what else. The idea came to me about 10 years ago. The idea that hypnotherapy I think is a great tool. I think it's a fantastic thing that exists in the world, and it's a tremendous force for good for people. And there's stage hypnosis, which is very entertaining. It can be very inspirational. A lot of hypnotherapists don't realize that they live off of the marketing done by stage hypnotists, because people see the show and go, wow, that's amazing. I wonder if hypnosis will help me for this. It's a great proof of concept sort of thing. So we've got hypnotherapy on one side, we've got stage hypnosis and entertainment on the other side, both very valuable, I think, uses of hypnosis when applied well. But most people don't spend their life in therapy. I mean, some I guess do, but most people don't. Most people don't spend their life in a theater. Again, some do, but most people don't. Most people spend their life on the streets doing day-to-day things, going to work, having a family, going to a restaurant and so on. And I thought it was a tremendous shame that we couldn't apply the power of hypnosis to all those areas in between as well. And that's really where the name street hypnosis came from. It is the idea that you can use it on a bus, in a car, on a plane, in public, in private. Wherever you are, as long as there are other human beings around, you can do a form of street hypnosis. You can not necessarily stick people's hands to tests and so on. We'll teach you that too if you want. But this is more about making your way through life. So you can walk through life with your head held up high so that you can be a force for good in the world. You can influence others and leave them a little bit better off than before they met you. So that, everywhere you go in the world, it's just left a little bit better. People are a little bit happier. Problems are a little bit, harder to come by and so on. And you have the capacity to do that. You all, of course, have probably met someone at some point in your life that has been a turning point in your life. Maybe a mentor, a teacher, a parent, a family member, a friend. Someone who maybe believed in you just at the right time when you needed believing in. Maybe someone who gave you a stern talking to just at the time when you might have been starting going down the wrong path. Or someone who gave you a second chance when really you didn't deserve one, but you grabbed it with both hands anyway. You know the kind of things I mean? We've all had people like that in our lives, and if it hadn't been for those people, our lives would be impoverished now, would they not? So my hope is that at the end of these 10 days, you choose to become a person like that. Now, I can't make you, right? It's not my job to tell you what to do. But hopefully, as you see the kind of things that we'll be doing here, as you get used to these hypnotic gifts you can give people and the interactions and the nature of the interactions you can develop, I'm hoping that that'll inspire you to want to do it for yourselves, just because you can. And if you need an extra little carrot, it's also a way that you can get more out of things in your own life. You see, there are basically two influence models out there in the world. There's the win-win and the win-lose model. You may have heard of these. The win-lose model is basically, you have some and I don't, better take it. The win-win model is, there's plenty for everyone. So if I help you get what you want, you'll help me get what I want. It's kind of how societies are built. The problem with the win-lose model is, it only ever works on a one-trial basis. It's far too small a scale that people look forward to, right? Let me give you an example that might bring it to life. We know the stereotype of a used car salesman, right? Is it like he's a friendly, professional person that's got your best interests at heart and will sell you the best vehicle, and if it really doesn't match your personality or what your needs are, there's no way on earth he'll let you walk away with that particular car, right? That's the mindset that everyone has when we say used car salesman, right? Yes, that's right. So there is, and by the way, of course, you recognize that there are going to be many used car salesmen who fit exactly that profile, right? Yet we don't have that as a stereotype in our mind. Why? Because there's so many out there who are willing to, shall we say, make sell or put your interests at stake in order to get their own interests met first. And the problem with this is, it's very short-term thinking, isn't it? Once that one transaction is done, what happens next? You're going to go back to that person who sold you the car whose engine fell out on the way home? No. So the kind of influence that I'm going to propose over the next 10 days is the kind that takes a longer-term view. The kind where you build up a relationship where people just want to do things for you because they know that the more they do for you, the more their life improves, whether it's emotionally, intellectually, physically, politically, whatever it is, somehow things will improve, and that's why people like hanging out with you and like helping you out as they go along. Does that kind of make sense to you guys? So hopefully by the end of the next 10 days, you'll also have an appreciation that this win-win model actually is a much easier way of moving through the world. And the other version, well, let's get to kind of a world of trouble. Has anyone seen the famous hypnotic thief? It's been all around the internet. If you've been to our website, you may have seen it. Basically, it's a guy, I think it was in Italy, who grabbed a fistful of cash from a supermarket and ran because he used his hypnotic powers to put someone in a trance, and they didn't know what happened until the end of the day, right? Sounds like, wow, this guy has amazing powers. He must be really smart and good at what he does, right? I'm sorry, guys, but it's still a bit retarded. How much is he going to get from a supermarket till? $200? And now he's on the run from the police through the whole nation? How far is he going to get on $200? He's going to really live the life of luxury, isn't he? Buy a private island and have security cards to keep the police at bay. Do you see where I'm going with this? And the reason I think it's particularly just, I don't know, insane what that person did is because the very same skill set could make him a six-figure income easily and ethically, in other words, in an ethical and lawful way, either as a top-class salesperson or as a hypnotherapist. I have a whole bunch of hypnotherapy friends who are making six-figure incomes. It's actually very straightforward to do once you switch your mindset into creating the whole system and things around you as well, right? So my hope is that at the end of these 10 days, you'll have the skill to realize just how silly someone would be to grab a handful of cash, because your capacity for increasing your income just goes through the roof by applying these skills of influence in an ethical way where you're actually building a relationship that will be more than just a one-trial event. Does that make sense to you guys? So with that as kind of as a backdrop,